And coming to you live from the Dongxi district of Taichung City, off the coast of Dan River, over here in Taiwan. We are here with the first round of DreamHack Masters Taiwan / Hong / Japan / Mongolia qualifiers. I'm your host, Yaku of Dizaku, and with me today I have El antepasado que desciende del pastor himself, Light_VIP. How you doing, Light?
I apologize to everyone if that was too loud. Let us know about the audio. But we are here. We are finally live with the series, and what a series! We're very familiar with one of these players. Maybe not as much as when it comes to the other, but I'd love to get to know him. Yaku, take it away.
All right, then. Well, we're gonna be starting off with this player in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner of Def Aura LE, the pink Protoss player. Definitely up there when it comes to the alliteration. Gonna be teamless, but representing Zest by the looks of that decal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Zest. We have the player from Hong Kong. It is Bistork. That was a traumatizer.
Otherwise known as the Hype Killer, we have spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE. It is the green Zerg player representing the country of Mongolia. It is Sioras.
Should I try to do throat singing?
You gonna do them?
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay.
I apologize to all of Mongolia for that.
I feel like the only reason why you know that is because of Cox and Krender in the morning.
That's not the only reason. I mean, that's the first reason why. That's the first place I found out about that, but it's not the only reason.
Exactly. Oh my god. But yeah, like, we're on this channel, at least we're very familiar with Bistork. We cast him basically every week.
Well, whenever he signs up.
Yeah, I think the best part is, or the best thing about like both Bistork as well as, you know, his compatriot Gogo Joey is that they're always playing in every single weekly. Like every single GPO, like we can always count on them.
Absolutely. And yeah, we can count on them to basically show off their fairly distinct styles, shall we say.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if Gogo Joey is one side of the standard cheesy coin, Bistork, he's not even on that coin.
I don't even know if I want to say that Gogo Joey is like too cheesy. Like I don't know, the way that Warriors said it. I was asking about it like a couple of weeks ago now. I don't know if you remember, but it's like there was a moment where it's like, oh, who do I have to go up against, Mio Micah or Gogo Joey? It's like, well, kind of like the Ender thing. Like Mio Micah, he just doesn't make any sense. Like Gogo Joey, he's crazy, but like there's like a method. You can see into it, you know, there's a method to the madness. You can see what he's trying to do. Like I don't know.
Exactly, but also because of it, he has some clarity, right?
Exactly.
He has that clarity to know, maybe I shouldn't risk this or that. On the other hand, Bistork, I feel like he's up there with Mio Micah in terms of the what are you doing kind of train.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes he is. I feel like Bistork is more of, he taps into Mio Micah every now and then. He's not, you know, he's not a consistent Mio Micah.
He's not full cat. You know.
Exactly.
Like,
he's not El Pastor.
Exactly. Speaking of which,
he just taps into it.
Yeah, and he's doing something that you don't see too often in PvZ. He's not going for glaives. He's not going for blink. He's going for charge.
Indeed he is, and with 5 gateways on the way, 6 gateways even.
Oh my god.
You know there's gonna be about as all in as you can get. It is imperative right now that Sioras is able to scout this, and if he can actually break through this adept, he might be able to. Nice use of Shade here.
Wow.
Getting the pylon just after Shade finishes up, and I have to wonder if Sioras is gonna take this for a tell, if he, you know, sees that there's an adept there, there's no shield battery, and it doesn't have any glaives. Maybe he might know something, but Yeah,
So,
oh, this is not good though, like...
oh god. So there's a couple of things happening here. Sioras, he actually hasn't gone into the main base to scout at all. He doesn't have an overlord in position. The only overlord he has is out here outside the natural, nowhere near close enough to scout anything. And Sioras, because he just sees two bases, he doesn't see the gases, he doesn't know it's Zealot legs, so he's throwing down. This is your reaction to glaives. Like, you're throwing down spores and you're getting a roach warren.
Exactly. And you know what dies to zealots? Roaches.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think it's getting roaches surrounded by lings? Try getting them try avoiding getting surrounded by chargelets.
Exactly, and here we go. The chargelets are here. The warp prism is pretty far back. It could be a little bit closer, to be honest. Like, just outside of creep is close enough, so it avoids the queens. But the zealots are already here. They're gonna get surrounded though.
That they are. I mean, you know, zealots, they do surround roaches, but zerglings surround zealots. Thankfully, though, these zealots, they're pretty beefy, and they actually do quite a lot of DPS behind them. So these two lings, they are about to be cleared out.
Exactly.
And just about everything else behind that.
Yeah,
Stalker's really aiding with the cleanup.
Exactly. I love the incorporation of the stalkers here. All the lings went down. Now the zealot legs, they're getting on top of the roaches, but it looks like there may be enough. Oh, I don't know, though. Like, the continual warp-ins.
Yeah, there are a lot of continual warp-ins, aren't there? But the thing is, zealots, they're pretty expensive units, especially compared to zerglings. Every time Bistork is warping them in, he's having more and more of a risk of losing 100 minerals and not killing the Zerg player.
Exactly, and
the longer
honestly,
the
Sioras, he's like holding fairly well. Like, it's so important that he's getting out these things. Like, they need to buffer for the roaches, otherwise they'll just melt to the zealots, and they are melting like every single time. Like, he needs lings to buffer, and he's getting them out. Like, it may just have enough. Oh god.
I think Bistork may just have enough here. Sioras, he's gonna have to really think about how to position this and how to, like, you know, micro this. And I'm not sure if it's even possible to micro this.
Oh god, the last of the
roaches.
Yeah, the last of the roaches are going down. That's it. There's only 2 roaches left, and there are a couple more in production. But now, Bistork, he's broken him, I feel like.
Yeah, you can tell that it's really getting bad when you send drones out to act as your buffer. GG is called, and Bistork is going to take game number 1 the same way he took a game of Jogo Joey all those weeks ago.
Exactly, he was preparing for this, and this is like this is a really different kind of like 2-base. Like, this is essentially an all-in. Like, when you go for a depth pressure,
is absolutely an all-in.
Yeah. When you go for like a 2-base adept, you can always transition out of that. Typically, you see transitions like into DTs or into immortals or a 3rd base behind it. But here with charge lots, like, you're 100% committed. Like, you're not mining any gas whatsoever, and if you don't scout it, as you see, you just die.
Well, I don't think you just die there, as Sioras demonstrated. You can definitely hold off for a while, but I think it really does come down to the timing. You know, you really have to make sure that you have enough of those zerglings surrounding those zealots at the right time that your queens and your roaches can really shell away at the rest of the Protoss army. But yeah, that's a really tough army to hold when you were specifically prepared to hold a different composition. Yeah,
I would have to say that, like, Sioras was being very greedy because he never went into the main base at all. Like, there was no Overlord scout, period. So because of that, he had no idea what was coming his way. And this is the kind of build that you need to scout, because if you drone up a little bit too much, if you waste minerals on something like spores, right, which is what happens, then, like, it's so tight, the defense, like, it's so, you know, it's so clear
very
cut.
little margin of error there.
Exactly, that's it.
And yeah, I'm hoping that this time Sioras, you know, he'll send over an overlord.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, we are going to be loading into Eternal Empire, and we've talked about it before. Like, this map is a lot larger, it's a lot more difficult to pull something like that off. But in saying that, you still got to scout, you know, like, yeah.
It's just, how many times have you said it? Like, because it's a big, wide open macro map, that especially means you have to scout. Because, you know, your opponent may just try to metagame you here, especially if they're Bistork, who's kind of known for metagaming.
Exactly. It's like, yo, we're getting into Eternal Empire, the longest macro map distance. Like, all right, I'm gonna cannon rush. Like, we've seen that a lot.
That we have, specifically from Bistork. And speaking of Bistork, here we have it. It is Bistork coming up here in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way to the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire. Ile. We have the pink Bistork Protoss player, known as Bistork. He is going to be teamless, but representing Zest, we have Bistork.
I said Bistork like 5 times in that intro.
Yeah, and speaking of Bistork,
speaking of that, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, we have the Mongolian Zerg player representing himself as he is also teamless. It is Sioras.
I'm shaking my head so quickly at how accurate our prediction was. Like,
well, I told you, right? The Forge first, the Cannon Rush. We've seen Bistork do this. This is like we watch him week after week.
Specifically on Eternal Empire,
Specifically on Eternal Empire. This is what Bistork does, and he had the full wall off, cancels it before too many finish up, and there we go. The first cannon is on the way. It looks like Sioras, he's going to be able to take care of this pylon.
Powered, but he does have to be careful not to be baited by the probe. Does have to take care of that pylon here, and this is going to be a lot easier for Sioras to defend. But honestly, that other pylon is just about finishing up. There we go. And a cannon will complete.
Yeah, cannon's complete. It is powered. There is plenty of high ground vision, and just like that, Sioras, his defense gets thwarted, and we've seen this before. He went for a hatch first as well. Like, this is what we're talking about. Like, this is what you want. This is what you expect to go for in Eternal Empire, but there was a cannon rush, and there are different ways to deal with this. We've seen Rex, who is also in this qualifier, completely shut this down with spines, but the spawning pool just finished. Oh.
It did, and speaking of ways to defend against that, Sioras not going for the Rex method, going for the Ravager method. Which, in my opinion, I think that's a little greedy. Okay, he's getting a spine behind that. Okay, so it's not greedy, it's just really safe. Second Roach Horn?
I think that's a mistake.
No. When you get more than one Zerg structure light, it means that the units build faster.
Oh my god, and Bistork,
right?
what a madman.
That's why you get 12 pools.
That's exactly why you get 12 pools, and now there's a Zealot here. Sioras was trying to go for a ninja base, but Bistork, he's actually going to kill the drone. He kills the only drone that's out on the map.
You can really tell Bistork has done this before, has actually lost to this before. You can tell that Bistork watched the Dark vs. SOS series, now available on Twitch, youtube.com/CranKy Ducklings.
That's one of the things where when you're a Protoss player and when you do this enough times on the ladder, you know what the responses are. You know what's possible to come out there. And you've lost against it plenty of times, right? In the ladder, but here in a tournament, he knows what he could be expecting, and now Sioras.
Exactly when you lose against something so many times, eventually you figure out how to not lose.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Eventually, we'll get there, Yaku. We'll get there.
Eventually, I'll get there.
And I mean, Sioras. So he does have the double Roach Warren. He does have Ravagers, so he can slowly bile away at this, which is great. Something important to note is that Bistork, there is no Robo behind this. Typically, you see a Robo for an Immortal to break the Zerg, but he's just going for gateway units.
Yeah, which is pretty ballsy. But honestly, Bistork, I think he just wants to use cannons. All right, GG's called. And with that, Bistork is gonna kill even more hype here.
Wow. GG, well played. Bistork, 2-0 Sioras, and you know what? We're going to be getting into something that we've seen so many times before. We've got a little bit of
Hong Kong Derby.
The Hong Kong Derby. Bistork versus Go Joey.
That it is! And that's going to be one of the hypest PvZs out there, and of course, Go Joey, that's our boy. He is the second most winningest Grand Plus Open champion in 2020. For a while he was the top, but very recently he got overtaken by Mio Micah there. But yeah, Go Joey still absolutely without a doubt a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, definitely. Like Bistork, there's a reason why we call him the hype killer, right? Bistork, he's the guy who's defeated Risky and Probe and denied them from playing in any more of our tournaments. Like,
yeah, he traumatized them so hard. Just never just played them anymore.
Yeah, and I don't blame them, right?
And now it seems like, man, it is such a shame though, like, because now it seems like Sioras might be maybe part. Nah, he's definitely still gonna sign up for these DreamHack qualifiers. But yeah, I think it is just a shame that we're not able to see more of Sioras here, because honestly, all I know about him, other than he's the only Mongolian player, is he's apparently friends with Mio Micah.
Yeah, it's honestly it's a bit of a shame the situation that Sioras is in, because like being the only player from Mongolia, like there's been a lot of like issues regarding that, specifically when it comes to qualifiers and like where he falls.
Exactly, it's
yeah,
pretty much the whole I don't belong anywhere kind of thing.
Yeah, it sucks because for those wondering, we had WSG qualifiers at the end of last year, and he was forced to play with the Koreans. It was Korea and Mongolia, and it's like, what? Like that doesn't make sense.
It was Korea and Sioras.
Yeah, because apparently like he was meant to have his own qualifier, but because there weren't enough players like from his region, then he got bunched in with Korea. And even like here with DreamHack, like there were even Southeast Asian players that were like, yeah, like put Mongolia with Southeast Asia, like that's fine. And they put him with Taiwan, Hong Kong. Yeah, it's like I don't know.
It's a massive rip. Like too northern to be whatchamacallit, Southeast Asia, too western to be Korea. Well, I guess it's too non-Korean to be Korea, but too landlocked to be Asia Pacific.
Yeah. So Sioras, he's in this weird place, and I mean, props to him, right? Like he is like a pro player. He's competitive. Like despite being thrown around, like it doesn't deter him from signing up. You know,
thrown around.
Yeah, like thrown around from different region to different region. Like he's still there. He still signs up. He's still competing. And honestly, like I hope that he signs up for the following qualifiers. Like I want him to do well in these. It's just kind of rough when I don't think these qualifiers have seeding, and like even here, like it's single elimination, and both of these guys are facing each other
in the first round.
Yeah,
no less. It is a bit unfortunate, but hopefully one day, as we start going along, we eventually get the ESL Nomad region. That would be for Mongolia, Siberia, and Kazakhstan.